Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to a special Valentine's Day edition of Talmbout Wrestling right here on the Black Fitness Network. I am your host, the untouchable J.R. Atkins, and this is your primary destination for wrestling conversation. Happy Valentine's Day, all my Black Phoenix fans out there. We had to kick it off with the greatest wrestling theme song, maybe not of all time, but definitely of like the last. Let me just say, it's a shame that this theme wasn't in NXT in that era. It was absolutely made for NXT. It's neither here nor there. Very underrated. A lot of people hate it. I love it. I'm gonna make a list one day of the most underrated wrestling things of all time. That's gonna be on there for sure. I got another one that you might hate, but anyway, again, it's Valentine's Day. We're going to try to make this a quick one because I got a lot of stuff I need to do before like 2 o'clock. So I'm trying to make this quick, try to get it in and out for you. But we got some things to talk about. Mainly Dynamite, because this is a very interesting Dynamite this week. And I want to talk about it. More importantly, first and foremost, thank you all. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to come here to the Black Fitness Network to check out the one and only Talmbout Wrestling podcast. If you're here, you know what I need you to do. Like it, share it, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a rating, leave a review. Follow me here, stop here on Substack. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Spotify, Black Fitness Network or Black Fitness brand. Talmbout Wrestling. You know what it is. Make sure you follow. Make sure that you are all tuned in for talking about wrestling. Because that's what we be doing. We be talking about wrestling, all right? And that's what we're going to do here today. Now that we got that out of the way, I would do the shirt of the day, but you kind of saw it. But just in case you didn't. Very much big fan, huge fan of those guys. And they factor in to what we're talking about today. Before I get into AEW Dynamite, there's the thing I want to address. Because I just watched something about it and I wasn't even going to talk about it. But here we are, right? So let's go back. Last year, Rock comes out in New Orleans and Rock says, New Orleans, you're getting WrestleMania. He didn't say it like that, but pretty much said it like that, right? New Orleans is getting WrestleMania. And okay, let me get past that because there's some spoilers that I don't want to see yet. So Rock comes out and says, New Orleans is getting WrestleMania. I perk up a little bit because last time I was at a WrestleMania was in New Orleans, and that was the time. Now, don't have those same guys to go with if they were to come this go around, but I would make it work, right? Definitely be a great spot to meet a lot of you because I'm sure if you're watching here, you probably would have been at WrestleMania. I'll catch you at a show eventually, and a way to spread the word of the podcast. But nonetheless, less than none. What then happened was they said, "Man, we got this Vegas money, and we need to capitalize on this Vegas money because if we made that much last year, we can make this much more, right?" And so they doubled down. They said, "We're going back to Vegas this year," and the crowd collectively went boo, right? And so I knew it was crap. And I said, "Well, maybe they're just pushing it back." Well, next year they're going to be in Saudi, all right, and who knows where they're going to go after that? Because now there are like 3 different cities that are waiting. New Orleans has been promised one. Indianapolis has been promised one, or Indianapolis, I guess Indianapolis and Indiana. They've been promised one. There was the rumor that Nashville will have one with their stadium because all these new stadiums are getting built for the NFL, and all these NFL stadiums are going to be the ones where they hold these WrestleManias. So that already was a price increase. First of all, let's just say that when they made that move from like arenas to stadiums to like football stadiums, that was a price increase, right? And the experience became a lot less important. Because if you're in a football stadium and you're at the top of that, you can't see. You can't see anything. So the experience became less important. Well, then TKO took over. So now we're going back to Vegas for 2 nights. And lo and behold, the tickets aren't selling like they're supposed to. Would you look at that? Or the way they want them to. Would you look at that? You mean the tickets aren't selling? The tickets to this 2-night buy one get one free extravaganza. Shout out to CM Hypocrite. Aren't selling the way you want. Well, maybe that's because they're freaking astronomical. I looked up 2-day tickets at the top of that stadium. Like $750 or something for 2 nights. 7 something for 2 nights before taxes, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been after taxes, but I don't know. But 7 something for 2 tickets for 2 nights. For 1 ticket for 2 nights. 1 ticket for 2 nights. $700 something. So say I took somebody and I had, so that's $1,500 for 2 people for both nights. Then you have to make a choice. Do I want to go one night or the other night? Well, maybe you're going to go one night and not the other night. Maybe you'll watch a watch party somewhere for the night you don't go. Nope. WWE went because now they're trying to ban any bars or restaurants within a 50-mile radius from hosting any watch parties for Mania. I guess in an effort to boost or drive ticket sales. So what did they come up with? Now it's the holiday weekend, so now they're running a sale on WrestleMania tickets for the holiday weekend. Bump that. That's what you get. But that is what you get. That's what you get, and you don't throw a fit. So I mean, it is what it is, right? It is exactly what it is, and I don't have anything for that. So who are me, right? Who are me? But that's WWE for you, right? The Mania card maybe is taking shape. We don't really know. All we really know right now is Roman versus Punk. And now they have to focus on trying to sell those tickets off of Roman versus Punk, which is big. And those are big stars. And the WWE drones will flock if they haven't already. And those who are waiting to see what we got will flock if they haven't already. And if you can, because again, the bigger complaint here is the everyday hardworking fan and family cannot afford these tickets. Like I said, we're talking at least $1,500 for 2 people for both nights, and that's at the top. I want to say it might have been even a resale ticket too, but we're talking about at the top of the stadium. Okay, that's one of those I just want to be in the building tickets. So again, the experience isn't even the same. Now, is it great to be in the city around wrestling fans? Absolutely, it is. I went to Vegas. Not Vegas. I'm sorry. I went to Philly for 40. I didn't go to Mania actually, but I went to Philly to just hang out in Philly and be in the vicinity of wrestling fans. So I went to is it WWE? I don't even know what they call it anymore for real. The WWE World, where like it used to be Access, that thing. It's just a fan convention basically. WWE memorabilia, meet and greets, all this different kind of stuff. I went to that. I like being around that, checking out the merch store there, getting the merch because they have all kinds of merch there. I like being in that environment, but I'm not paying for this WrestleMania tickets. Wasn't paying for them then because they were freaking ridiculous, right? Um, I went to Wale Mania. That was actually the main reason I went. I went to Wale Mania, and then I came home. And I watched WrestleMania like probably at home. No. I think I watched WrestleMania at Dave and Buster's because they wasn't full of shit at that point. They have become full of shit since then. Nonetheless, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right? Anywho, let's talk about why we're really here. Because again, I want to make this quick. Because I'm just gonna talk about Dynamite and we're gonna get out of here. Because again, very interesting Dynamite this week. The long and short, this show was a banger. Banger after banger the entire night. Banger after banger the entire night. And yet, almost no decision that I would have made. And I'm not saying that they're bad decisions. They're just not the decision that I would have made. And it's like, oh, I guess that's one way to go about it. I guess I see the positives there. So okay, whatever. We could start with the way the show started off. Long awaited, especially for me. We got a face to face with Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland. Anytime, you know where we're going here. We didn't even need this, so you know where we're going here. Swerve's beef is basically that, you know, while Kenny was out, Swerve became a top guy, and now that Kenny's back and he's feeling good, he wants to, you know, get back into the main event. You know, they did a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What they said doesn't matter necessarily as much as what happens next. Kenny slaps Swerve. Swerve basically challenges him to like a match. Kenny slaps him. Actually, I don't even. Okay, hold on. Wait. That's not what happened. Kenny issued the challenge for the match. Swerve is like, look, let me tell you, you want this match, I'm gonna put you in the hospital and you ain't coming out, son. He didn't give it to New York, but sometimes I kind of wish he would. Kenny's like, whatever, slaps him. So they brawl all over the arena. Swerve ends up like spearing him off the stage through a table on the floor. And we're off to the races with this feud and an eventual match. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Are we throwing this on Grand Slam Saturday? Because that show seems already a little full. Or are we setting this up long term for like Revolution? That would definitely be the lick, right? Nope, we're getting it next week. Now, my hope is that in getting it next week, we get some kind of screwy finish and we stretch it out to Revolution. Tony Khan does have a habit of doing this. Tony Khan does have a habit of doing a pre-match before the like main match. You know, you don't always get the first time touching moment, you know, for in AEW. Sometimes he'll do it with the long run of or the, you know, even if you have those fights like when the bell rings and the match actually starts, you know, you don't have because that's a first time matchup, at least in AEW. So save it for the pay-per-view. Having a finish doesn't having a clear finish, while it will make the match probably greater, it also is like, but I would have rather, like, this is one of those WWE versus AEW things, honestly. WWE a lot of times will save the moment for the show. You're not going to see Roman versus Punk prior to Mania. Like when they set those types of main events coming up, unless it's like a rematch or something, like from a feud, you don't get like, oh, we're gonna have the match, and then, especially like I said, especially those high profile first time only. Like I said, Roman Punk may not even necessarily be a first time, but this Roman and this Punk, absolutely a first time. You're not gonna see that, you know, just on Raw to set up, the other thing. So, maybe there's some kind of screwy finish. I don't know, because I can't see that. I don't always like that about AEW, which is the first of many of these decisions that I didn't agree with. So why are we doing that next week? I would have rather just waited, have the first time, and I don't know how long you got to stretch to Revolution. Is it in February? Is it in March? So maybe a few weeks. But next up, we had the Don Callis family versus Death Riders. Takeshita, Josh Alexander, Mark Davis versus Mox, Claudio, Pac. Death Riders get the dub. Okay, I had to look at that. I was like, is that what happened? It was last week that the Don Callis family got the dub. Running through that Grand Slam card, I know last week I was saying it was filling up quickly. There's also Moxley versus Takeshita for the Continental Championship. As I'm recording this, the spoilers, the show actually might already be over. So the spoilers are there. I'm not going to look at them, and I won't be able probably to watch tonight. So I don't know when. Probably tomorrow, maybe. Who knows? So I know that match probably slapped. I don't know who. Like I said, don't know who won. Not gonna look. So I need to watch my social media. But again, I'm gonna be busy. Death Riders winning probably was the right call. This was one of the decisions that's like, okay, it's cool. And then we got Kyle Fletcher and Tommaso Ciampa for the TNT Championship. And I was like, oh boy, howdy. Ciampa's been putting on bangers since he got the AW, and he's only been there for like 2 weeks or something. The few matches he's had have all been bangers, way higher level than anything he was doing in WWE, and that I would actually probably include that in the NXT run, because that was at his peak. These AEW matches have been right there with them, if not better. So this match, and Kyle Fletcher, of course, is insane. So you knew it was going to be great. And my booking was like, okay, you need to solidify yourself as a legit dominant champion here in AEW. So you have to beat somebody, the most recent dominant. Before Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher. It was the same thing as Stat, basically. Stat won the women's championship, and she had to beat the people who basically were champions or in the running before her. She had to beat and the people that beat her. She had to beat Tony. She had to beat Mercedes. She had to beat Tekla. There was somebody else in there too. So again, this match was a banger. This match was off the hook. Okay, Ciampa. Let me tell you, I didn't take notes there were things that just happened, and I was posting in my little Facebook group that I'm in, I Heart Wrestling. Shout out to I Heart Wrestling on Facebook. You know how good Tommaso Ciampa is? This motherfucker was on his knees. He jumped from his knees into a low drop kick. Now, jumped from his knees. So here's the thing. So he's on his knees, and he has to jump up from his knees, swing his legs under him enough, and get vertical. No, horizontal to land a drop kick. Try it. Don't sue me if you try it, but try it. Tell me how that worked out for you. And that's at this point in his career. Wild. So the match is going on, and like at a certain point in the match, I said, you know, if I didn't know any better, I think Kyle's gonna win this match, but that doesn't make sense because Tommaso just won the belt, and Kyle Fletcher's supposed to be moving on to bigger and better things. Like, aren't we moving to like an Okada thing or something, or maybe? I don't know. And the match is going, and the match is great, and the match is going, and the match is great. And then like Kyle Fletcher wins and becomes a 2-time TNT champion. Now, the premise of Kyle wanting to win this title and have this match is because he wanted to go into Grand Slam in Australia as the TNT champion and get his quote-unquote hero's welcome. I don't know why we just didn't do this match in Australia. He didn't have to go in as champion, right? That's not okay. I don't think he had to go in as champion, but maybe they felt like he did. All right, sure. And so, but we could have done Tommaso, we could have done this amazing match in Australia. Whatever. But okay, fine. Tommaso Ciampa loses. Maybe he gets a rematch at Grand Slam. Maybe he gets a rematch at Revolution. I don't know. I was like, that's not what I would have done. You'll hear that a lot today. It's not what I would have done, but okay, I guess. All right. So out comes Mark Briscoe. And the hilarious thing here is Mark Briscoe says he's done with the Don Callis family. He don't want to do no more open challenges with the Don Callis family, which is where Ciampa came in, and Ciampa won the title. But now Don Callis has the title back, and here comes Mark Briscoe again. So Mark Briscoe is like, hey, we 3 for 3. We 3 and 3, basically. You won 3, I won 3. So let's settle this at Grand Slam. And I was like, oh, so we're doing that again. Huh. Okay. I thought we closed the chapter on that already. I thought we already did that. This was wrapped up nice and neat with a bow. Thought we had moved on, but now we're going back to Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. But this time it's going to be a ladder match. And again, it's going to be great. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that. Not what I would have done. Not what I would have done. There were so many. Do a triple threat. Do a triple threat. That at least that would have introduced a different dynamic. I don't need Kyle Fletcher, Mark Briscoe 7. Even if it is a ladder match. I don't need that. Not what I would have done. Whatever. Next up, we had Roger Strong and Orange Cassidy versus Danny Garcia and Clark Connors. They were pushing very strong the Roddy and Orange Cassidy not getting along. This is kind of the next stage of this Roddy not wanting to be in the conglomeration thing. So he's very annoyed with Orange Cassidy throughout the whole match. A lot of stuff happening. At some point, Orange Cassidy goes for the tag. Roddy Strong just jumps off the apron. He's like, nope, over it. And I said in the match as this was playing out, like, because they were pushing it really heavy. This has been a thing, but they were pushing it really heavy this time. I was like, is Roddy about to turn heel? Is Roddy going to join the Death Riders? That would be a very interesting wrinkle. That'd be a very interesting wrinkle for Kyle O'Reilly to beat Mox twice. Or was it 3 times? He made him tap out in the made him tap out in Blood and Guts. I feel like he made him tap out at some other point. But I know he made him tap out at the pay-per-view, like Full Gear, if I'm not mistaken, is what it was. So with 3 times, 2 or 3 times, he made him tap out. So he finally puts the chink in the armor of Moxley and wins that battle. Only for Mox to win the war by stealing his best friend and recruiting him to the Death Riders, which will hit a lot different than the Daniel Garcia and Matt Menard thing. Like, it'll be similar, have a very different dynamic there as well. He did, and then there's Marina. That kind of makes sense. But then Roddy's fought against him so much here lately, maybe not. I don't know. But Daniel Garcia did too. So go figure. So I mean, interesting to see where they go with Roddy as far as that goes. Out of there, Tony Storm shows up, talks her shit about the hair versus hair versus hair versus hair basically match. And then out come Marina Shafir, Wheeler Yuta with Mina in tow, and they cut off a lock of her hair. It was probably some extensions. So dopeness, dope. So all signs point to Wheeler Yuta getting his haircut, especially the way he wears it. It's like, yeah, you definitely get a haircut, dude. Like, you're mangy looking, so of course you're gonna do that. Next up, we have a World Tag Team #1 contenders triple threat match. Now, the 2 people in this match were the Rascals and the Young Bucks, and a wild card. And I speculated, maybe not necessarily to anyone, but to myself. And I need to start writing these things down so that when I say them on the podcast that I said it, then it's there to see. But I had 3 potential people who could be the 3 potential teams who could be the wild card. And I figured that whoever the wild card was should probably win. I said you either get Cope and Christian, the return of Cope and Christian. You either get the Acclaimed officially back together in this new form, whatever, or the return of and it was the return of Private Party. Private Party's back in the house. Shots, shots, shots. What we doing? I love that theme as well. Looking jacked. The rumor that I had been hearing, the story that I've been hearing is that like MVP and Bobby Lashley were really high on Private Party, told them, a thing they needed to bulk up basically a little bit. Definitely have done that. Mark Quinn is much bigger. Isaiah Cassidy has toned and shredded too. So they put on some weight. They're still able to do a lot of the things they were doing. Like no shade, like Swerve put on weight, and then he put on more weight, and I can tell like he's still trying to figure out how to move with the new weight, the way he moved before. it still works. It's just you can tell it don't hit. It's a little different, it's a little slower, a little, but it's more of a main event speed. So, uh, it works. I just wish he would put like something on his wrist, but that's neither here nor there. So, Rascals, Private Party, Young Bucks, triple threat match. It was everything. Spot fool, spot monkey, spot junkie, spot crazy. Absolutely. Here for it. Absolutely. Sign me to pick up for that. Okay. Um, so the match is going, the match is doing its thing. I'm thinking, okay, cool. You got Rascals, you got Private Party. Neither one of these are like probably going to be the ones to beat FTR. Rascals makes, but with both of the positions that they're in, with the Rascals being fairly new and Private Party being fresh in return, and never got a rematch for the world title tag team titles that they lost. They just disappeared after that. Weren't on TV from that point forward. So you would think, okay, well, cool, put them back in there and then whatever. Now, do either of them need a loss to FTR? Not necessarily, but it's for the World Tag Team Championships. Take them to the limit. FTR wins, kind of established them, especially the Rascals, right? Needed probably more than Private Party and Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks win it. I mean, not what I would have done, but again, I told you you're gonna hear that a lot. So now we're getting Young Bucks, FTR. I don't even know the number. 5, 4, I think. I'm not sure. I know at least 3, maybe 4. The first one that like during COVID, I think in Full Gear during COVID. They had another one in Wembley. They had another one on Dynamite for like the ROH tag titles. So there's like 4, maybe even 5. I don't know. So and was this on Grand Slam or is this going to be on when is that happening? Young Bucks versus FTR. This is a good article that I'm going to read. How Young Bucks versus FTR went from iconic to boring in AEW. I definitely want to read that at some point because it's fairly true. Fairly true. Okay, so they had a ladder match now, so that's 3. So they had 4 matches already. So this will be match number 5 between them, not counting the other times that like they've done like matches with them, basically. Since 2020, FTR and the Young Bucks have either teamed up or faced off in a variety of multi-person matches on 16 different occasions. In 2024 alone, FTR and the Bucks wrestled in trios action more than once. They battled in a ladder match, went to war with one another in Anarchy and Arena, and more, with other matches taking place in 2025. So there's been a lot. There's been a lot. All right. Oh, I want to read that too. Yeah, let me stick on that for a minute. So I don't know when it's actually happening, but they're the number 1 contenders. Let's screw it up. So FTR comes out, talks that shit. The Bucks just kick him, super kick him. We ain't trying to hear all that. Threaten, Stokely and leave. That's that. Not what I would have done, but whatever. So finally, we got our main event in the strap match. It's Chris Statlander versus Tekla. And I should have known Wouldn't you know it? I should have known. Should have known. I should have known. I should have known. Brutal, brutal main event match. They have not had a lot of strap matches. I think it's only been one. There definitely hadn't been one for the women. Brutal match. And I said, okay. And in the end, Sisters of Sin come out. Harley and Willow are already in Australia because they have a match against Megabad. So there's no one to help out Stat. Tekla gets the win and becomes the new women's champion. Listen, I'm not mad at it. Not what I would have done. Not what I would have done. Not would not have been my thing. Would not have been my choice. Would not have been my move. I again, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Stat has been champ since what? All In, maybe? All In sounds right, actually. And I think it was so that's a decent run. Let's see. How long was Chris Statlander AEW Women's Champion? 144 days. She won it. Yeah, it was at All Out July 12th. Oh, it wasn't at All Out. That's not legit. No, that's not right. That's not right at all. Well, it may have been All Out, but that wasn't the date. No? Yes, it was. Because All In was in June. Okay, I'm not sure. So let me look. What the internet just told me was wrong, so let me find out by Wikipedia. So it was at All Out on September 20th. It was not 144 days. Ugh. I was right. It was All Out. September 20th. So September, October, November, December, January. So it definitely was over 100 days. So that's a plus. I don't hate it. So it was 144 days. It's just the date that it started was wrong. Got it. 144 days. That's a successful reign. That is a successful reign. It feels like it wasn't long enough. Okay, so I got it. But she beat the match she won it in had Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, and Tekla. Those have been most of her challengers since. So she beat Mina, Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné, Jamie Hayter, Tekla, but ultimately lost it to Tekla the second time. So, again, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's fine. Again, not what I would have done. Not what I would have done. But they're building new stars. That's a big thing in wrestling these days, is building new stars. People like to say that AEW doesn't build new stars. People say WWE don't like to build new stars. Tekla winning felt inevitable. Don't know if I would have done it here, but also you needed big things for this show heading into Grand Slam. However, you have Revolution in a few weeks now. So, like, is anything of note going to happen at Revolution now? Because kind of feel like you, between this Dynamite and Grand Slam today, and then you have Revolution. When is Revolution? Revolution is in a few weeks. Has to be, right? When is AEW Revolution? March the 9th. So it's less than a month. Less than a month away. Nope, that's wrong too. That's 2025. Hey man, this is what you get using Bing. I should be using Google. Should be using Google. That's my problem. Using Bing clearly does not know what it's talking about. And it's AEW Revolution. March 15th. It's a month away. Okay. That's more like it. So it's a month away. I mean, there's time to build a lot of stuff, but I don't know if anything of note is going to happen. Like, they don't stack stuff like that. This revolution seems like it'll be pretty seismic in some way or another. I don't know if a lot of things are going to change hands, but it does seem like you did most of that this week on Dynamite. So I don't know. Again, a lot of decisions I wouldn't make. Tony Khan does strange things sometimes. I'm never one to like overly pump him up and like, oh, he's the greatest thing that happened at wrestling since, you know. I do think he is a competent booker for the most part. Just because he doesn't do things the way a lot of the purists would do doesn't mean that he's not competent in what he does. Doesn't mean he's not good at what he does. He absolutely is. So I do have faith in Tony, and then usually sometimes it works out. But there's a lot more decisions that he's made that I've also been like, it's not what I would do. I don't turn into then all of a sudden the criticism like that he's not like a good booker or a great booker or anything like that. Like he's a competent. He's competent. He's a competent booker. If that's the most I can say, I think that's good. He's a competent booker, um, doing the best he can with kind of what he has. So, hey man, shout out to Tony Khan for that. Dynamite was good. It was a great show. The match is banged. The match is banged. The decisions, notwithstanding, all the matches banged. And I just don't agree with some of the winners or the way they won or that type of thing. We'll see if I feel the same about Khalid. I got a feeling the Grand Slam is going to be pretty inoffensive, basically, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't anticipate. I don't even know what the card is, but I don't anticipate, and I'm not going to look because if I look, they probably found some spoilers. I'm trying not to. But I know we got like Mox, Takeshita, the hair versus hair, Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta and Mena. MJF versus Brody King, Babes of Wrath versus Mega Bad. I feel like there's one more match that I'm forgetting. It's probably a title match of some sort because they got so many. But I'm pretty sure there should be a tag team match. Well, there is a mixed tag. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think anything of note is going to happen necessarily, but maybe after this Dynamite, who knows? Because I wouldn't have seen any of that really coming that way in any of these decisions. So that's probably going to be the title of this episode. Not what I would have done. It is. It's absolutely going to be the name of this episode because why not? But all that being said, happy Valentine's Day again to everyone within the sound of my voice. Enjoy your loved ones, whether you're and love yourself. Love somebody. Love yourself, love your family, love your friends, and love this podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, leaving a rating, leaving a review, leaving a comment, and most importantly, engage. Propose. Because that's an engagement, right? You could propose in the comment, like, why not? I'm fine with that. Hey, I'm progressive. Okay. So engagement is the key. Engagement is the key. Make sure that you are leaving a comment, that you're sharing with your friends. I want to know who's out there watching it. The numbers are doing pretty good. I need more. So while you're getting ready for whatever you intend to do on this fabulous Valentine's Day in 2026, No matter how much hate there is, the only thing stronger than hate is love. All right. Now, I just came up with that off the dome. I don't even know where it came from. That's crazy. That is wild. Nonetheless, again, thanks for tuning in on this wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you get some love somebody, eat a lot of candy, get some good food in you, have some crazy love in the night, and listen to this podcast at some point in the day. Now, I'm going to get out y'all way because I got to go get ready myself. I got things I got to do. Okay, my house looks a mess. My car looks a mess. I got to get things together. So, with all that being said, thank you for tuning in once again. I'm your host, the Untouchable J.R. Atkins. This has been Talmbout Rasslin right here on the Black Fitness Network. And until next time, we are out.